You're going to the gym, you're kind of tracking your food, you're trying to eat healthy, but you're wondering why you still look skinny fat, or why you're not putting on muscle, or why you're not losing fat. I'm Coach Madison and welcome back to the channel. I'm super excited because today we're going to be talking about tracking macros. The basics. What the heck is a macro? What does that mean for me? How do I track it? What the heck is this? So we're kind of bringing it back to square one, back to the basics, and we're going to build upon that. If you're watching this, it's probably because I either directed you here or you're searching and you're like, what the heck is tracking macros? You're probably on the start of your fitness journey, which is so damn exciting. Let's start off with protein. So protein is a super buzzy word. It's not just for bodybuilders. It's not just for men. It's not just for wanting to put on muscle. Protein is essential for so much within your body. Muscle building, protein synthesis, but it also helps with hair, skin, and nails. It helps keep you satiated. And this is why I really like to try to make sure that people have protein with every meal, obviously for balancing your blood sugar and for satiety. Protein is 4 calories per gram. Carbs, which are not evil, not scary, they get a bad rap for putting on fat, but carbs are literally your body's preferred energy source. So carbs are also 4 calories per gram. Carbs are literally what gives you energy throughout the day to crush your workouts, keep your brain buzzing. We love carbs over here. We're not scared of them. So fats are gonna be the one thing that's a little bit different. They are 9 calories per gram instead of 4 that protein and carbs are. So fats are super essential for so many freaking reasons, but especially for us as women for hormone health. Generally, I don't like to have you guys dieting past 50 grams of fats. I really try to keep these a little bit higher. Obviously, not just for hormones, but for digestion, for vitamin absorption. Fats are not what is making you fat. Okay, so that's the run through of protein, fats, and carbs. So generally, if we're making it so freaking simple, you guys are usually looking for one of two things. One, you want to be toned, you want to cut, you want to have abs, you want to be super lean, you want to have that like super tight toned figure. So that's going to be a calorie deficit. You could be over here, I want to grow some glutes, I want to put some meat on my bones, I want to have a more womanly shape, I want to put some muscle on, I want to gain strength, and that's going to be more of a calorie surplus. Both are great, and you can do both. Those things are great, but Madison, how do I do them? That is probably why you're watching this video, right? So for a calorie deficit, you want to have a little bit of a higher protein intake. Now, I'm not talking 200 grams of protein. It's really such a small amount that you need. I am like 130 pounds and I generally have like 130 to 140 grams of muscle. Protein. I also have a lot of muscle. So if you're coming from the start and you notice that you probably severely undereat protein, I really would focus on having like 25 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast, lunch, dinner, and go from there, because that's going to get you up to 90. You're going to have trace proteins outside of that, probably roughly around 100, and then you can start to kind of build upon that if needed. We as women, we really don't need a ton, and you kind of want to be careful with having too much protein, especially if you're having like processed proteins, just because that can throw off digestion, obviously cause some inflammation. We want to be careful with that. But generally, having a higher protein and then a like moderate carb, moderate fat calorie deficit is what you're going to want to do if you want to be in a deficit, aka fat loss phase. If you want to be in a building phase, you'll want to put some glutes on your system. You want to have a more womanly figure. That's where I highly suggest going into a little bit more of a surplus. Now, we don't have to dirty bulk. We don't need to be putting on unnecessary body fat. We can be in a slight calorie surplus, having a little bit more carbs, a little bit more fats, like really utilizing this phase of being able to bring up calories and giving your body a break from the chronic dieting of women's past. But during this phase, a lot of people think, oh, I have to just eat a ton of protein to put on muscle to grow. But that's really not the case. I really don't touch people's protein once it gets to a nice set point. I might change things a little bit depending on what we're doing, but I genuinely keep it around the same range. And then obviously just kind of play with carbs and fats as we increase things into a surplus. You're gonna wanna have these two things to be so damn accurate with tracking. One, you're gonna wanna get a tracking app. So like MyFitnessPal is the one that I have all of my clients use. A lot of people use the First Form app. I like the MyFitnessPal one just because it integrates with everything that we do with coaching. And then you're gonna want a food scale. I know, it's annoying, but it's gonna be the best way for you to know exactly what you're eating, okay? A good question is, how do I fill my macros? Well, a good rule of thumb is personally, for my clients, I like to see a 90 whole food, 10 fun food approach. General public, 80% whole foods, 20% fun foods. It's just kind of like where you're at. Obviously, a lot of the times you can be more flexible. It kind of just depends on what phase you're in, what your personal goals are, what your body digests well, your lifestyle, right? So I actually made a grocery guide for you guys breaking down, okay, what are good proteins to get? What are good carbs to get? What are good fats to get, so that you can fill your grocery cart with the right foods and then kind of mix and match your meals from there. If you want that, comment below, or I'll probably just link it below for you guys. The main gist for you guys to know is that tracking macros is not about being too restrictive. It's not about, having food rules. It really kind of just gives you freedom, to be honest. You're gonna learn so much about your body, what you digest well, what's in what food. Oh my God, we live in America. Like, the food that you're intaking, you're going to be very surprised once you start tracking it. But it's a good idea, so you actually know, hey, I might have thought I was eating healthy, but that acai bowl is actually 800 calories and I could have gone to Chick-fil-A for better macros. So obviously you want to look at your nutrients. You want to see, what works best for me, what is my goal in mind. Really, it's just a tool that I think every woman should track for at least a little bit of amount of time, so you know what's in your food, what helps Madison's body work best, what helps Madison's body digest best, what helps me in a deficit, what helps me get through my workout. You learn so freaking much from tracking that it's going to change your damn life. So it's not about restriction, it's really about nourishing your body. Hopefully this was a little bit helpful and gives you guys an idea into what the heck tracking macros even means. If you guys want a more customized approach, if you guys want to be able to turn your brain off whenever it comes to food, you're like, that sounds like way too much work for me. That's literally my job, and what we do within my program is customize all the nutrition for you guys so that you guys can just plug and play and get to your goal without the math. So obviously, I'll leave my little link below if you guys want to apply, but hopefully this answered some questions. If you have any questions I can further answer, drop them below in the comment section, and be sure to like this video and give me a follow.